The day after she turned 7, something happened in her brain and she started screaming, pulling her hair out. We had to physically hold her down for 72 hours. She never slept.
Right.
I was so angry. I just thought, why?
Yes,
Felt
yes.
rejected.
My guest today endured the long, heart-wrenching journey of slowly watching her young daughter succumb to a rare genetic disorder. But amidst this heart-wrenching journey, God did a miracle in the life of young Rachel, her daughter, and she forever touched the lives of all those around her. You'll want to stay tuned. Hi, I'm Lana Bach, your host on Compass in the Storm, where we feature the stories of people who overcame life-altering storms with God's grace, now bringing hope and encouragement to others. My guest today is a mother of 4 and began her journey in nursing where her natural gift of compassion and caring unknowingly prepared her for future unforeseen challenges. As soon as I met her, I knew her story needed to be shared on Compass in the Storm. Please welcome my guest today, Janet Swink. And Janet, thank you for being with me today.
Hi there. It's my pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much, Lana.
Awesome. I've been looking forward to this day. And Janet, as soon as I met you and I heard your story, I knew you needed to share your story on Compass in the Storm. And the journey you and your daughter endured together was very heroic and yet a very painful one. I can't even imagine how you went through 20 years of watching helplessly as your daughter's health declined. But Janet, you did. And you came through that storm and you still love God,
Amen.
which
Even
is,
more.
yes. And so, Janet, I've just been waiting for you to share this. Would you please explain just a little about the rare genetic disorder that Rachel was diagnosed with? And especially, please tell us about beautiful Rachel and her incredible journey.
I would love to. She was the joy of my life. So, Rachel was born with a rare progressive degenerative disorder called Sanfilippo Syndrome. Um, it is the it is the family of mucopolysaccharidosis, and there are many disorders within this umbrella, and basically each one of the disorders is missing a certain enzyme. Now, without this enzyme, these diseases come. And
Mm.
Rachel was probably she was the fourth child of 4, and she was born the day after her sister was born, 2 years later, which was really
Mm.
fun for us. But I
Wow.
noticed early on that she had um, there were some issues. She had lots of ear infections, and to make a long story short, she literally progressed within the guidelines of Sanfilippo syndrome. But because it was so rare, they didn't know what was going on.
Mhm.
So she started off developmentally delayed because she was the fourth of 4 and I'm a nurse. I knew something
Mm.
was wrong.
Yeah.
And the doctors were just kind of, oh, well, it's not this, it's not that, get over it. I'm sure it's going to be fine. And we tested her. She had once she went to speech therapy, she learned sign language first.
Okay.
She had speech therapy. She had an amazing vocabulary.
Wow.
Right about the time she was about 3, she was progressing, but so slowly. 4 come along, and she needed a lot of help. And then we started noticing areas where she progressed, she started to regress. Well,
Oh.
by the time she was 6, I knew, this mama knew, something is really wrong with her neurologically. I knew it. So she could ride her bike, but then she couldn't ride her bike. She could skate, but she couldn't skate. She'd fall. She was always falling. Um, She was always hurting herself. She was aggressive, very, very aggressive. And she didn't follow instructions. And they didn't know where to place her in school. So I became her bus
Oh,
driver. I became her aide. So I would take her to school,
okay.
stay with her at school, bring her home from school, and then mother her throughout the night and be up in the middle of the night. So
Wow.
I did that for a very long time because I wanted her to be included.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
do all this at home. I wanted her to get services.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So finally, long story short, again, we got to the age where we were 6, had her tested, and she tested positive for Sanfilippo syndrome.
Oh, wow.
Didn't know what that was. We took her to MCV in Richmond. The neurologist, top neurologist there, basically said, you know, we're dealing with a situation. We get a lot of false positives. Okay. So he says, I want you to go home and observe. So we observed her for a year. The day after she turned 7, something happened in her brain and she started screaming, pulling her hair out,
Oh,
and running in the front door, out the back door, in the front door, out the back door, in the front door, out the back door. We had to physically hold her down for
wow.
72 hours. She never slept. So my husband and I took turns holding her down
Oh,
so that she could rest. Her heart rate was elevated. Um, these children have
wow.
super strength. She just
Wow.
kept bucking to get away. Finally, it took us 72 hours to get her an appointment to be seen.
Oh, wow.
I was black and blue,
Mm.
bloody. She was bloody. My husband,
Mm.
it was rough. We had to put her in a pack
Wow.
loose. We tried everything we could because she was hurting herself.
Yes,
And
yes, right.
it was like she was trying to run away with what was ever going on.
Mm.
It was
Yeah.
so heartbreaking. And all I did was
Oh,
cry, cry, and cry. And so my other kids were terrified. So that would make Rachel was 7, Amanda would have been 9, Joe was 11, and Ray was 12.
wow.
So finally got her into MCV. And while we were there, they had given her adult strength Haldol and Valium because they wanted to do a spinal tap. They wanted to do
Okay.
whatever they could do to say, yes, is this a positive?
Right, right.
The cardiologist pulled the plug and said, no, we're going to say it's a positive because she'll have a heart attack. We're not giving her that much.
Oh, okay.
So then she was
Wow.
there in that facility for a week. And then finally, they decided the only thing we can do is put her in Children's Hospital and find medication to calm her down because they couldn't calm her
Mm.
down. She was out of control.
Oh, wow.
And that was so heartbreaking because
Sure.
it was like she was in a padded cell.
Oh.
She was in like a cot in a rubber room
Mm.
where
Mm.
they had to find medication to give her. So, and we couldn't visit. We had visiting hours.
Oh, wow. Really?
No, we were only allowed to visit like maybe every other day for maybe an hour
Do you
because
mind me asking why? Why would they not let the parents visit?
well, we could visit for 1 hour
That
because
was
they're
it.
trying to get a medication plan that we can go home with.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. They were afraid it's
So,
going to disrupt something and
yeah,
okay. All right.
it was absolutely
Mm.
torture. I mean, because I was the mom, the bus
Yeah.
driver, the aide. I was with her 24/7.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, she we finally got to bring her home. And when we brought her home, she had no speech at all. She just nah, nah,
Oh.
nah, 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 no speech
Oh.
whatsoever. So my daughter Amanda, which was best friends with her sister,
Yeah.
was devastated to the point that we had to get her counseling. She
Yes.
had to go straight to
Oh.
counseling. And I was just faced with the doctor saying she has Sanfilippo syndrome. We do not know anything about it. Here is a pamphlet. A lot of parents institutionalize their children. So we're sorry, but follow this medication routine. The medication was just to calm her down. It was to do nothing. There's no cure.
Oh,
There
yeah.
is no cure. She
Mm,
will live to 14 or 16. Now, here she's already 7. So now I'm hearing that I'm only going to have her for 7, 9 more
yes.
years.
Yes.
It was the
Wow.
worst experience of our entire life.
Sure. Oh, sure. Wow.
We came home, and I think in the very, very beginning, you have to just face the reality of what you just heard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're just not even praying truthfully. You're just screaming out, dear God, God, help me, God. What,
Yeah.
what do we do? Oh, God.
Right. Right.
In the meantime, I have 3 other children
Yeah.
that are involved in many things. And I
Mm,
don't want to disrupt their
right.
lives any more than they're already disrupted.
Right. Right. Right.
So I think probably for the first, that was July that took place. I would say the rest of the summer into fall, I was just a zombie. I truly don't remember a lot. Um,
Wow.
I have a lot of moments where I've just blacked out. I don't remember.
Sure. Sure.
I know I never slept. And my
Oh,
husband worked shift work. So when he was off, he would help me with her. And then, or I would go for a walk or go
mm,
to jazzercise or whatever. Yes,
mhm,
back in the
mhm.
jazzercise days.
Yeah.
And then when he was working, I was on, plus being the mother of
Mhm.
3 other children.
Right, right.
So I remember coming out of that season, we lived in a 3-bedroom home, and we had to give our room to our sons,
Okay.
and we put Rachel in the boys' room, and we had to pad it,
Okay.
add the window, block
Okay.
all the outlets, mattress on the floor, no
Okay.
furniture, just stuffed animals, nothing she could chew and choke on. Um, and then my husband and I didn't have a bedroom. We slept in the family room.
Okay.
That went on
Wow.
that went on for quite a
Wow.
while because she had to be by herself. She could hurt herself. And in her sister's room, where the room where she shared, it was just too dangerous.
Yes,
Because now
right.
at this point,
Yeah.
she's not steady on her feet.
Okay.
The disease attacked her brain so quickly. It causes cortical atrophy. It takes your brain and it just like squeezes it.
Oh,
It's kind of like
wow.
childhood dementia,
Yes.
dementia
Yes.
in a child.
Wow.
So, anyways, I'm
Mm.
trying to, keep my boys were super athletically involved and instrumentally involved. And then I had my daughter who was involved in theater and
Oh,
her things. And so I remember praying, my husband and I prayed, and I said, we're never going to make it if we don't figure out a game plan.
mm, mm-hmm.
And I remember really just because I was so angry with God.
Right.
I was so angry. I just thought, why?
Yeah.
You, I just, and I know we live in a fallen world. I knew all the answers, but I
Mhm.
still asked.
Still normal.
And
That's right. That's right.
I was still really hurt by him.
Yes.
Felt
Yes.
rejected.
Yes.
Felt neglected. I felt like he never heard me.
Right.
I felt abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
everyone got to go out and do their thing and live their life. He got to go to work. They were going to school. And
Mm.
and this sounds terrible, but my life was no more.
Right. Well,
It basically,
absolutely.
it's
Yes.
basically no more from the time she was born, just because she was constantly sick.
Right.
And I'd had to cancel a lot of things because she was always so sick.
Mm.
So my husband and I, one night we were in our room, we just just started praying, God, we need answers. God, this is what the rubber is meeting the road.
Right.
I have
Right.
no answers. I don't know what to do. Do
Mm,
I put her in school? Do I enter her back into society like this? Do they
mm-hmm,
accept her?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do
Wow.
there's no place for her. This is rare. What do
Yeah.
I say? She who what do I say it is? And everyone knows Down syndrome and
Mm-hmm.
cerebral palsy and all
Right.
the different things. Everybody knows those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what do I say? What do I do? We had to move. That was the first thing we had to do.
Okay.
We had to
Okay.
have some sort of normalcy.
Yeah.
We had no money.
Mm.
Our A lot of Rachel's studies were out of pocket. The insurance didn't cover them because the insurance company
Oh,
didn't know what it was.
wow.
One urine test was $10,000
Oh, oh my word.
because
Oh
it
my
was
word.
research. They're
Oh,
just looking for something. So we had no money. We were
wow.
literally, and of course, now I'm not working. See, I became a nurse so I could be a school nurse.
Yeah,
And,
okay.
that
Okay.
was the plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got married and had lots of plans, but they weren't God's plans.
Yeah.
There's something to say about that.
Right.
So anyway, I we needed to move. We needed to pray. God, please provide. So my sister's father-in-law was a builder. We sat down, we met with him. We said, look, we need help. We don't have money for another house.
Mm-hmm.
We need to keep our mortgages close to the one that is now.
Right. Right.
He agreed to help us as best we could. My husband is he is the jack of all trades. He's amazing in everything. He
Mm.
did a lot of construction
Okay.
on our home. So they whisked us in this house as quick as they could,
Oh,
literally bare bones, build and
wow.
trade, no finished basement, but it had 4 bedrooms.
Oh, thank the Lord. Yes.
That was the goal. Get us
Yes.
in, you know,
Yes.
and that was the goal. It was at 1997.
Okay.
Just get us in this house. So he did. What we did with Rachel's room, we masterminded the electricity so that for code you have to have the room electrically involved. So all of her lower electricity was turned off by one switch in the
Oh,
garage, and the upper is what followed code.
I gotcha.
But
Okay.
anyway, we had to make it Rachel proof. So
Right.
we did that. Just a mattress on the floor, padding where we needed it. Thank God. So this became my sanctuary. Her room became my prayer closet.
Oh, wow.
And when my husband and I would go in there and we would pray, that was the place because we wanted to involve her. When we moved here, I had a better understanding of God. I was still angry. Don't
Mm-hmm.
get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a long time not to be angry,
I
but
understand.
but I had nobody else to go to about this.
Right.
So it's kind of like I'm really mad at you, but I have to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
I need to
Mm-hmm.
talk. I didn't
Yeah.
just, hey, the Lord is God and He's gonna. It
Yes.
wasn't like that at all.
Yes.
I still attended church. I made sure the kids
Mm.
went to church. We stayed extremely involved in Royal Rangers, Missionettes. We did it
Right.
all
Right.
because I knew deep down in my heart, and I know that that was God, that I had to keep some sort of normalcy in my
Yes.
life.
Yeah.
I went to a school meeting and I was sitting in the foyer. This is a tough one.
Mm.
Trying to find a place for her. And I was sitting out in the lobby waiting to talk to the principal. And I had my Bible in my hand. I just carried it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really opening it, but I knew
Mm-hmm.
I had to carry it. But God says, I want you to go to Habakkuk 2, 1 through 3. I said, okay. I did. I read it. The vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait, because it surely will come.
Okay.
And I studied Habakkuk. And 160 times Habakkuk talks about waiting in the book. 160
Mm.
times.
Wow.
And
Wow.
God told him that he needed to be stationed in the tower.
Yeah.
stationed in the watchtower. I'm like, okay, okay. Now, my vision, of course, would be that Rachel would be healed.
Mm-hmm.
That was my
Mm-hmm. Of
vision
course.
because that's
Mm-hmm.
a mother's heart.
Yes.
But it was like I got a little nugget of something to hold on to. It was like
Mm-hmm.
I got a piece of the rope. I'm
Yeah.
holding just a thread. Okay, God, I'll do that. I'll do that. And um, so I went home and I told my husband, and I said, "This is what God said. This is our scripture for Rachel. This
Mm-hmm.
is her life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We and write it plain to see." So in my Bible, I wrote what I would love to see for her.
Oh.
And her room was the watchtower.
Oh, wow.
So I, on her wall, drew a mural of a tree, a beautiful tree on a hill,
Yeah.
gorgeous tree, because she didn't have
Oh,
anything in there. So it was a
yes.
wall and it was on the ceiling,
Oh,
and then her was on the floor, and then all along the wall, I painted a picket fence, and
oh,
this was our
wow.
watchtower. And I put a sun. It was just very, very,
Beautiful.
it was beautiful. It was
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I knew I knew that day when I finished painting, God said to me, I want you to run the race that I've called you to run.
Oh, oh,
Run the
yeah.
race.
Mm.
Do this. So I said, okay. So the only book I read was Habakkuk. I still wasn't trusting him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I wasn't.
You're still in pain. You're
I
in
was in
pain.
pain. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hurting.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that the kids need to be involved. We're a very close knit family, very, very tight. And I
Mm-hmm.
knew these kids have to be involved. I invited them into everything.
Good.
They
Yeah.
came in, and that was our prayer room. And
Oh,
they helped and they
yeah.
watched, or they would sit with her if she's having a rough time. Okay, guys, I would say to the boys, okay, boys, go sit with Rachel. Mom's going to cook dinner.
Right.
The boys are in there.
Oh, how wonderful.
The kids,
Wow.
they were just super, super involved. They loved making her laugh. They
Oh.
loved because they would do silly things because she couldn't talk anymore.
Mm.
It was starting to morph into a family dynamic now.
There you go.
We
Mm-hmm.
couldn't go out for birthdays. So
Mm.
mom just okay, Joe, where do you want to go for your birthday? What would you like for your birthday? I want sushi and Japanese. Well, we didn't have anybody that we trusted with Rachel yet.
Yeah. Right.
Didn't have any sitters yet.
Right.
So I just took the legs off the dining room table. I hung a bunch of Japanese things in the room.
Oh.
I made sushi in Japanese, and we sat on pillows.
Oh, how wonderful. That's creative.
And
Wow.
and we went to Japan. And so that's kind of what I started to do. Birthdays
Yeah.
were think, think, think.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
Ray would be off and I would run out and go get stuff and bring it all back. And so that's kind of what we started to do. To this day, Rachel's not here, but we still do things like that. It became
Um,
part of the fiber of
yes.
our
Yes.
tapestry. We definitely are weaving, still
Ah,
weaving. We're not
yeah.
finished weaving.
Sure. Sure.
So um, it it was super important for Ray and I that the kids stay involved.
Mm-hmm.
So then I
Mm-hmm.
started to get other parents to help me with carpooling
Oh,
and different things
good.
like that. They were
Yeah.
not going to miss out.
Right. Right. Good.
So at this point, the seizures are beginning, grand mal seizures, and the symptoms are just continuing. And I'm at my wit's end. And I remember crying out. No one was home. Everybody was at school or work. And she had the worst seizure.
Mm.
I thought I was going to have to call 911. And I had,
Mm.
being a nurse, thank God,
Yes.
thank God,
Absolutely.
I kept her out
Yes.
of the hospital. Um, but I just put the Bible on the floor And I stood on it.
Mm, mm, mm.
That's all I could do. I just stood on it. And I just kept saying, God, you said, stand on the word, stand on the word. And I know this is not what you meant, but this is all I have right now.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
standing. And
yes.
I just said every word that's in this Bible, I'm
Mm,
standing on it.
mm.
And you
Wow.
know, I'm weak and I'm vulnerable. So right now, this is all I've got for you.
Yes. And he knew that. He knew
So,
that, Janet. Yes.
yeah, he knew. He
Yeah.
knew. Then he said to me, apart from me, you can do nothing. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So that was the day I opened it up.
Oh, okay.
I opened
Okay.
it up and in her room, um, when she became immobile, we were able to start to bring furniture in there.
Okay.
So I had a bed, she had a TV up in
Mm,
the, on the wall, and it just became this little 12 by 13 room became
mm.
where I lived.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just where I lived. I hired people to clean
Yeah.
so that I didn't have to do that. And I just
Right.
stayed with her. And um, I truly believe that Rachel was very ingrained in my worship.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Wow.
That is a very interesting statement there, because when she passed away and I would go to her room, when there, the spirit, the presence
Okay.
gone.
Wow.
So we were prayer partners.
Wow.
We were
Wow.
prayer partners. She
Mm,
within herself loved the Lord and just
mm.
praise God. And I
Wonderful.
know from her inner being, she knew, because the worship music was playing,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Oh man, I hear you talking, and I don't think even when we chatted when we were together at Myrtle Beach, that it dawned on me that, your entire family. I mean, it that is yes, your journey because you were with her the majority of the time, but that your entire family had a life-changing experience.
yeah,
And I hear you when you said that, you were angry with God. And I think, Janet, that's very normal. I mean, when you're going through a horrific season in life, I know that's a very normal thing. But so would you say when we talk about this season that you're going through, because I mean, she sounds like such an incredible young lady, and I know it had to be heartbreaking and just again, I'm thinking about the anger and everything, all the emotions that come with that kind of a situation. But what strengthened you? I mean, because you're angry with God. So, and yeah, I know God supernaturally helps people, but how did you find the strength to get through that season?
because I loved her so much.
A love for her. There you
I
go.
loved her so much,
Yeah.
and I was not willing to give up on her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would not.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Mm-hmm.
this is how our life was going to be,
Yeah.
then I was going to love her the best way I could and include her in every family situation,
Very good.
because she was still part of our family.
Yes. Yes.
And I just desired to unconditionally love regardless
Right.
of
Right.
whatever.
That gets you through.
It's
Yes.
what got me through. And then
Yes.
love for my family.
Yeah.
I
Love.
and I loved my husband. And it broke my heart
Mm.
to see him so sad. Even though
Mm.
I was, but it just broke
Mm.
my heart to see him like that.
Yeah. The emotions. Yeah.
It was just really hard. Super.
Hard, hard season. Not many people understand what you went through, and thankfully they don't. So you have nobody else to go to. So God had to hear it all.
He
And
had to.
I remember when I was really ill years ago, and I became really angry with the Lord. Something my late husband said to me at the time he was still with me. He said, Lana, he said, God understands that you don't understand. He's big enough to hear what you have to say. Because I would be angry and then I'd start crying and say,
Yeah.
forgive me. Then I'd get angry. It was like a big circle. But with your anger with the Lord, and I know, again, it doesn't happen overnight, but how did you eventually overcome that emotion? And I know because it is a very common emotion where when we go through something like that, the harder the situation, of course, I think the more anger. But how did you get through that? What were their steps, or was it just something that happened gradually and you read your Bible more and more? How would you explain that?
I said to God, the word talks a lot about joy, the joy
Mm-hmm.
of the Lord being our strength.
Yes.
And I could be happy. I could choose happy, and I could choose to make happy moments,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew I lacked joy.
Mm.
I lacked joy. And I remember praying fervently for God to give me supernatural
Yeah.
joy.
Yes. Yes.
It was a quest. And because I would tell him, look, if you don't give me supernatural joy, I do not think I can make this
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Because, at this point, I'm not sleeping. I'm
Mm-hmm.
having to take sleeping pills.
Wow.
I am sleeping with a monitor right by my ear. She's having seizures through the night. She's choking. I'm having to go suction her.
Wow.
I had to sleep in there. So I'm sleep deprived. I'm exhausted. I'm anxious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not the best version of me. And I
Right.
wanted to be
Sure.
the best version of me for my children. I just prayed supernaturally for joy. And then I just expected that he would do it. And so
Yeah.
I don't know. And that this is so funny because I don't know how long I had it. But one day I realized, I really have joy in the circumstance.
Oh,
I have joy.
wow.
And it was so wild because I would not go have mother daughter pictures taken with Amanda, Rachel, and myself until Rachel was healed because I wanted that so bad.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
was depriving my daughter,
Right.
Amanda.
Mm.
So the day that I realized that I had joy, I thought, okay, I called up the picture place at the mall and I scheduled a fun mother daughter photo shoot. And
Oh, wow.
I felt no guilt. I felt great. And I think it was the best thing that we could have done.
Yes. Yes.
And so I never lost that joy. I kept it.
Thank the Lord. Yes.
However, with joy still comes heartache,
Sure. Mm.
sadness, and grief. And, it broke my heart watching her
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
decline and the things that had to happen. But yeah,
Mm.
it was just a supernatural thing that God did for me.
Yeah.
So at that point, I just leaned heavier,
Yes.
leaned in. I was able to lean in because he had given me something that I couldn't conjure up myself.
Right.
There's
Right.
no way I could have done that.
Yeah. As Rachel got older, the miracle that you shared with me was I would like you to tell the story about the miracle about they only expected her to live to a certain age. And how old was she then?
So they said 14 to 16, and she was 2 months shy of 25.
20. Yes, that's a miracle.
Yes,
That's a
it was a
miracle.
miracle. We had a lot of miracles along the way with Rachel. With Sanfilippo syndrome, there's a lot of hospital stays. There's a
Mm.
lot of pneumonia.
Oh,
Um, trach, they get trachs. There's a
okay.
lot of things, preventative things. And I had a pediatrician that was wonderful who worked really well with me and trusted me and allowed me to do a lot of things for her.
Okay.
The only time other than the diagnoses, the only other time she was in the hospital was when she got her feeding tube.
Okay.
That was just an
Wow.
outpatient procedure. And then, of course, at the end of her life,
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
in the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is a miracle.
it was
I
amazing.
mean, and like in the introduction where where like we were talking about you being a nurse, God truly, truly had this in your journey. There's no doubt. I mean, you amaze me, Janet. I'm just saying this, what you've gone through must have created such a warrior woman in you. That's,
Well, I was because that was my girl. That's my
yes.
baby. And
Yes.
that you become a mama bear.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, 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 wow. So in this journey, what would you say? Because of course the name of the podcast is Compass in the Storm. If I were to say to you, Janet, what would have been your compass? What kept you, what one thing navigated you through the storm more than anything else?
I would say an open heart.
Open heart. Okay, that's
An
good.
open heart. I
Good.
I kept my heart open to hear because when we were in within the journey and I realized that what God's plan truly was,
Mm,
um, had I had a closed heart, I would not have, she would not have had the beautiful final days that she did have.
okay. Yeah.
Your heart is open to hear the Lord,
Yeah.
then things will go well with you
Yes. Yeah.
because you're not fighting. You're not a salmon swimming upstream. You're
Mm,
you're just going with the flow, um, like it or not, because it was not a like.
wow, wow, that's great
So
advice. That's great. I mean, and you're right. It'd be like a salmon going upstream because, and then I think sometimes bitterness may settle in. If you don't have that open heart, then you get bitter. And I feel that maybe someone today listening that's going through this journey, if they're in the same position you're in, it may not be with Sanfilippo, but maybe it's something else that they're going through that they are at their wits' end. They don't know how they're going to get through. And again, that open heart is great, the open heart, open mind. But is there anything else you would say to that person who might be in that situation right now, listening or watching this podcast?
I would say that the promises of God
Mm,
are real,
yes.
and God is already in the situation
Yeah,
before you even know there is a situation.
that's true.
He is in it.
Yeah.
And because he is in it, your obligation at this point to him, being a child of faith, is to trust him,
Mm, mm,
which is hard. It's,
absolutely.
it's hard, but you've got to, what I learned was, okay, get it out of your system. I
Mm,
used to always tell my kids when they were young, okay, guys, all right, I know you're really upset about this,
right, right, right.
but God's in charge. He's here. God's got
Yes,
this. So you
yes.
can give Satan 5 minutes. So go rant and rave for 5 minutes. Then when you come back, we're going to pray,
There you go.
invite
There you
God into
go.
the situation. So, I mean, I know I took longer than 5 minutes, but it is just keeping your heart open to the Lord,
Yes.
knowing He's not finished,
Yes.
not finished.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
the biggest thing, forgive people,
Mm,
forgive people.
mm,
Don't carry around anything because they don't understand your
yeah.
situation. And
Yeah.
there were so many people that were so hurtful.
Mm,
And I could have
mm,
carried that bitterness with me, but that's not going to do me any good.
yeah.
So I felt like I had to live a life of forgiving people.
Right.
No,
Right.
I mean, I had
Right.
people tell me, oh, you need to put her in an institution.
Oh, oh,
You need
wow.
to, or
Yeah.
I mean, I even had somebody after she passed away the very day say, oh, now you have free time.
Oh,
You have to
don't
forgive
understand.
people.
Yeah, they don't
They
understand.
just don't understand. You can't
No.
you can't hang on to that.
Right. That's great. Janet, that I can't tell you, just what you've said this last 5 minutes, 10 minutes has just been awesome. And I hope that the listeners know. that this kind of wisdom that you're offering can only be found with someone who has traveled the journey. And you can only learn by going through it
Amen.
and your words of wisdom. So I hope those of you listening will glean from Janet's experience, because it's such valuable wisdom, and not in life in general, just in life in general. It does not come without a price. Your wisdom, Janet, did not come without a price. And I want to thank you so much for sharing. I know it's bittersweet. You miss Rachel. I know you love talking about her, yet I know your heart still yearns for her. I am sure. But just a wealth of information, Janet. And Rachel's in heaven now, and she is fully, completely whole. And the next time you see her, she's going to be a totally different child.
Amen.
But we do still, I know that we're talking about the Team Sanfilippo. So if people listening to this, and especially they don't understand it, because I know I never understood it until I talked with you, but they do want to help. Tell us a little bit about the Team Sanfilippo. I think I'm saying it right.
Yes, you are. So basically, it's a very strong support network now, and they've got Facebook, they've got websites, and a lot gather from all over, and they'll have functions, and
Okay.
they'll have fundraisers to try to find a cure. They're really working hard to try to find a cure, and they are doing some studies now, experimental things. I don't think they've have found anything yet, but they
Okay.
are doing bone marrow transplants. I've heard of that, and different medications. So they definitely need
Yeah.
more people to participate in the fundraisers to raise money.
Great. Okay. And I thank you. And I will put that link in the podcast. And I do encourage any of our listeners to feel, if they feel inclined, which I hope they do, to consider donating to Team Sanfilippo, because I know, it tragically robs families. I'm sure that you guys have become pillars just of the Lord, and that experience has to create, with the faith that you have and your husband and your children. This is kind of interesting because I thought about this. Little Rachel continues to be that little evangelist. We were talking about her being an evangelist through her testimony, and so do you.
Because all my children are married. They all serve the
Mm.
Lord. My daughter is a
Wow,
pastor.
wonderful.
But they all said that they are who they are because of Rachel.
There
All
you
of
go.
them,
There you go. There you
even
go.
the in-laws,
Wow.
children. They all said because of Rachel, because all of them were here when Rachel was still with us. She
Yes.
passed away in 2011.
Right, right.
So that's just to
Wow.
me, you know, Lena, everything we've been through, all the turmoil, just to
Mm,
see where my kids are now and how they serve the Lord
yeah,
and how their kids
yeah,
love Jesus
yes.
and serve the Lord. It's just like, God, thank
Wow.
you. Thank you.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. You've got a beautiful, it's a horrific journey. It was a horrible experience, although you love your daughter, but it was just hard. But again, you are like diamonds. You guys, the Lord, that pressure that makes the diamonds, you guys are those diamonds that are now shining so bright for the Lord. And thank you so much for sharing. And again, God bless you, your family, and I know He is and will continue to. But thank
Amen.
you so much. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you. It was
Take care.
wonderful. Thank you.
Friend, sometimes our pain is so great that it blinds us to God's love for us. In Matthew 27, when Jesus is hanging on the cross, painfully dying a slow death for you and me, He cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" But friend, God did not forsake His Son Jesus. It was the pain of the world on Jesus as He hung on that cross that prevented Him from feeling the presence of God. Our pain just hurts too bad. When our hearts hurt, when you feel deep pain from loss, grief, betrayal, and other agonizing emotions, it will blind you for a while. But it's in those times that we need to remember to call on God. He is still there with you. He still hears you. even if you feel he's nowhere to be found. Psalm 145:18 says, "The Lord is close to all who call on him." He will get you through. He will walk with you through the storm. He has great arms of strength and love that will uphold you and help you. All you need to do is ask. I pray you'll experience his loving arms around you today, my friend. You don't have to walk your journey alone. Let him walk with you. Thank you for joining me today, and I trust you received hope and encouragement. I look forward to you joining me on the next Compass in the Storm. Until then, God bless you, and remember, friend, stay the course.